Shelby GT500. You're right, we already did a video on this. And unfortunately, some things didn't pan out the way we wanted to, so we stood in the shop like idiots for like 25 hours and nobody cared about that. So now we get to do it Jack's way. And if you know anything about Jack and a high horsepower V8, you know there's gonna be a boatload of trouble.
In the shop with the Ford Mustang GT500 Heritage Edition. Now, we've already done an extensive video on the GT500 where we spoke to engineers like Jeff Grauer, the people responsible for this car. So if you want to learn everything there is to learn about a GT500, watch that video. This is going to be the Cliff Notes version of that. So what about the Heritage Edition? Well, it's essentially a cosmetic package. They add some unique colors, unique script on the exterior of this car, and if it tickles your fancy, you can pay $10,000 for some painted on stripes. So what about the car? Well, if you are unfamiliar with this generation of Shelby Mustang, either the GT350 or the GT500, you may think that this is a fire and brimstone locomotive from the 1800s, that all it wants to do is go sideways, smoke its rear tires, and potentially kill you. That is not this car. The Ford Performance engineers did everything they could to make this 760 horsepower, 4,100 pound car approachable. And they did that by essentially changing everything they could with the S550 platform, from aero to suspension to obviously drivetrain. First off, let's start off with suspension. It's still a strut front, multi-link car. However, they changed the suspension geometry, specifically in the front. You have new knuckles and new lower control arms. It also has MR dampers, or magnetic ride dampers, front and rear. So there's a wide adjustment to the suspension tuning. This car is definitely on the softer side. However, when you do go to track mode, it does stiffen things up. There's still some body roll to this car, but they do their best job in making it actually translate to what the car is about to do. So depending on what you're feeling, you'll have a good idea if this is about to either understeer or oversteer. It is fairly approachable. This car also has the option to get some camber caster plates in the front, whether you get the regular handling package or the carbon fiber handling package, which also changes the aero treatment of this car. It has a giant carbon fiber wing to the rear, which adds some downforce. However, really, the downforce in this car is doing its best to eliminate lift. They've covered up nearly everything on this car. The rear end of this vehicle gets a Torsen limited slip differential, which has been retuned from a regular GT350, again, to make the rear end feel approachable. However, if you choose to turn everything off, you can, which isn't actually all that scary in this car. Obviously, you can drive it like a monkey, like I like to, but there is some civility to its handling. This car has two different wheel and tire packages. You can get this with carbon fiber wheels or regular alloy wheels. Both are good options, and you get one brake option. Some giant Brembos, 6 pistons in the front. They work exceptionally well, even considering that this is so heavy at 4,100 pounds. So what about the drivetrain? Well, this has the Predator 5.2 liter V8. They took the block from the GT350 and got rid of the flat plane crank and added a cross plane crank. They took the lessons learned from that car and their racing program to try to make this as reliable as humanly possible. It is only port injected, and it has a giant 2.65 root-style Eaton blower. While earlier blowers had some issues, they've seemed to sorted that out, and they're doing their best to keep it cool. So there are 5 enormous heat exchangers in the front of this vehicle, one of them being a transcooler. Speaking of transmissions, this has the TR9070 dual clutch from Tremec. This is the same transmission family that GM uses in the C8, Z06, and C8 Stingray. However, Ford has done an exceptional job tuning the gearbox. In many ways, I prefer the tuning of this versus what GM did in the Corvettes. And there's a reason for that. It is that the transmission tuning is seamless. It always does what you ask it to do, and it never changes its programming of shifts. It's always crisp, the downshifts are excellent, and you can shift mid-corner in a way that doesn't upset the car. It is an excellent gearbox. Ford did a really good job with it. But with that, I think it's time for us to take this on the track and show Mark what makes the GT500 so special. So Mark, you're in my favorite car, at least one of my favorite cars in the world.
You're kidding, right?
How does your prostate feel? Because mine is feeling rather enlarged after that. Oh yeah! The 60 to like 130 in this car is amazing.
There is so much body roll, at least on this trim level. Holy crap. There's so much body motion. It's crazy out here. I mean, it's not in a bad way. It's just
It's
like
super predictable.
It is. No, I know. Well, I don't have to go any farther than predictable than watch you drive this like a monkey. But it's also insanely fast. You know, like, I forgot how fast this car is.
Honestly, on North, including the all-new C806, this is probably one of the fastest cars I've driven to that 60 to 140 range. It is ballistic.
Man. Wow. I mean, I know we talked about this being one of the favorite cars we've driven besides like the 350, 350R, but yeah, I mean, I agree with you, and I'm not the sideways monkey you are, but this thing with some real tires on it
And real negative camber, if this was in track alignment, this would be so unbelievably fast out here. It's nearly 4,000 pounds. So dynamically, Mark, yes, there's a lot of body roll, but you know, there's a good connection between front and rear, and the fact that the Ford performance engineers
I can't even hear you. I can't hear a word you're saying, and it doesn't even matter. People don't give a shit. They just know this thing makes a lot of fucking noise. It goes sideways. Oh yeah, my T levels are maxed. Yeah.
Do you miss not having a manual?
I don't care. You think I give a what? You think I give a about a manual transmission in this car?
Yeah,
when I go to Cars and Coffee and show people my law. Yeah. It's going. Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
So with that, Mark. So with that, let's head into the final thoughts.
Yeah, let's do it. Final thoughts on the GT500. You saw testosterone levels were so high, I have lost more hair, my prostate is fully engorged, and Jack is sitting there telling me how this is one of his favorite cars ever made. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but we constantly complain how they don't make cars like they used to, and everything's so NPC. Well, this car delivers. But what it doesn't deliver is how the f*** are you gonna pay $100,000 for a Mustang? Something they've taken from a rental car, $30,000 pile, all the way up to this level. And the truth is, it just works. It's ridiculously fast. You can go sideways, you can drag race it, you can run people over at Cars and Coffee. You can be the biggest dick, or you can drive it like it's a Cadillac or an older Cadillac. It is so smooth, it is so quiet. You'd never believe that you're driving around with this much girth under the hood. And that's what makes this car so special. It's a dying breed, it's a dying formula, and if you have a wallet as big as you need, you're gonna make up for a lot of deficiencies in other places driving this bad boy. Let's leave it at that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next video.